I think I'm really just constantly being called to a place of having faith in myself and having trust that it's going to work out, even if I don't see the direct path yet. Hey everybody, and welcome back to 20 Conversations. Happy February 1st. And this is the season finale. I forgot what I was going to say and then I just remembered. And cheers to the final episode of season 2. Thank you guys for joining me on this journey. Couldn't thank you enough for listening. There have been many times where I doubted if I even should continue making a podcast, if people were listening, if it was worth it. And I've gotten messages over a period of time, just people saying thank you, I appreciate this episode, this resonated with me. And so I really do appreciate when you guys send me those messages, because it gives me that reassurance that I'm doing something that means something to someone, that has value to someone. And it's just literally not just me and myself talking to a mic. So thank you guys, and welcome back to another episode. As you can see by today's title, well, actually, before I even get into today's title, what I want to say is I'm not drinking tea. I'm not drinking anything actually today. I'm twisting my hair. So you might hear some spritzing from my water bottle, some noises. That's just me using my conditioner and things of the sorts. But I'm twisting my hair. I figured this would be a good time for me just to get some thoughts off of my head, or out of my head, I really should say. And I thought about this some time ago about doing a podcast while twisting my hair, but really didn't get to it. So I figured, why not? It's the final episode of season 2. We're going into a new month. Let's try something new. So here we are. Now first, let me go and add some water, because I've been out of the shower for a bit. I'm halfway through my head, so this shouldn't be too long that I'll be twisting my hair. And what I'm using is just some water with some tea tree oil to revive the moisture, or the hydration I should say. And then I'm locking in my moisture with the Mielle pomegranate and honey leave-in conditioner. That's been my new go-to for twisting my hair and just moisturizing my hair lately. Before I was using Shea Moisture's, Shea Moisture's, it's the orange one, hibiscus something. I've been using that for years. Can't even tell you the name off the top of my head. But here nor there. I used that previously. Wanted to try something different. And this has definitely been one that I can keep in my hair care routine. So here we are. Now, I'm going to take a pause just because I need to grab a clip. I'm working on the back of my head, so it's a little more difficult. But as soon as I get that clip, we're going to get into this episode. I'm going to get into the topic. I'm going to let you know what's going on. Hopefully, I'm going to feel better after this podcast, because I've been stressed out all day. Let me go get that now. There we go. Alright, so let's get into this episode. I haven't fully titled it yet. I just have one lingering in my head. But I think I'm going to title it, I Don't Trust Myself. And just question the ability of me being able to do what I imagine, to be successful at it, to reach a sense of stability through what makes me feel comfortable. If I can reach a sense of stability through what I want to do and not what I'm supposed to do, because it's the way that people have always acquired stability, through certain types of jobs and so forth. So I'll leave the ambiguity alone and I'll get into what I'm actually talking about. So this entire day and over the last couple of days, I have actually really been, for the last week, in deep contemplation in relation to myself and work. If I'm being very honest, I don't want to work. I just don't want to work. But obviously, I need to work because I need money and I need to take care of myself. And I've been having a lot of angst and just worries around how to get to a more comfortable place. And I'll be more transparent with you guys. I make a decent amount of money, but let's be real, to live a decently comfortable life, you need to be making a decent amount of money. And I contemplated if I wanted to share how much I made. I'm not embarrassed by it. Well, by my primary stream. I'm not embarrassed by it, but I just don't really know if it's necessary. But what I'll say is this: we're between the range of 40 and 50K. So I'm in that range. And I've gotten way better with managing my money and so forth and whatnot. I do have a nice chunk of consumer debt that does eat up a good chunk of my check every month. However, as I still like budget money well and whatnot, and make some money on the side from photography, which that was a mindset shift, because before I was like, this needs to become like my main income, stressing myself out crazy. And I just had to stop and realize, like, yo, you don't even enjoy this thing anymore. You don't even do it for fun. And let's be real, like, it's making you money, but it's not making you all the money that you need. And maybe if you even have a mindset shift, you could even make more than you are. You could even make more than what you claim you need, but you just are putting so much stress and pressure on it that, like, you're just not being and letting things flow. This is definitely going to be a podcast of just like a stream of consciousness, so just follow along with me. But here or there. So yeah, like, I make a decent amount of money. It's working. I'm making it work now, right? I'm making it work. But I need more money. I want a more comforting lifestyle. I want to be able to live on my own, or go back to living on my own, I should say. I want to go back to living on my own. I've been home for a year, coming up next month. And I've set the goal of moving out in March. So I would be home. So that would bring me to a year and a month that I would have been home. And I think that pressure of knowing I'm moving out soon and not necessarily having a sense of security and where my money is coming from for this transition makes me a little anxious and worried and questioning everything. Questioning, how am I going to get the money? Questioning, should I just get a second job, serving? Should I get a second job working, in another office? Like, what should I do to give myself that sense of security in this transition, but as well as just, like, being able just to take care of myself, like, just honestly, like, I can cover my basic needs. Let me put it this way: I can pay all my bills comfortably. I can, I make my basic needs handled as best as I can, but I don't have as much wiggle room as I would like, and that does weigh on me a lot. Like, if I'm being very honest, it weighs on me a lot of just not really having enough of the disposable income that I would like to really just afford the foods that I want as often as I would like, and to be able to have as much fun as I would like, or just to invest in things that make me happy. So the reason why I feel like I don't trust myself is because I have great ideas about how I can make more money. I have great ideas about how I could get to a more comfortable life that I desire for myself. But I find myself stuck in this analysis paralysis of, will it actually work? And will it be consistent? And that's a natural worry and feeling when you are someone who is pursuing a line of money and work that's not traditional, or that is not as proven to be guaranteed. And so that would require me to really step into faith with, like, yo, I'm going to do my part and the other part will be handled. And what I mean by that, more honestly, is I'm going to work on my portfolio, do my networking, do my marketing strategies, connect with people, put out my work. I'm repeating myself, but I'm just going to do my shit, and that will bring back people's inquiries. The universe will say, hey, I see that you really want this. I'm going to give you what you want, give you more of it, prepare you as you grow. And I think I'm really just constantly being called to a place of having faith in myself and having trust that it's going to work out, even if I don't see the direct path yet. And that is very hard to walk into because I can see the very real and I can reflect on the very real consequences of things not working out. So to put myself in a space of faith and feeling like I can trust that I will do my part. I will not give up on myself, and I will undeniably believe in myself. It is hard, and it's scary. It's scary to think about the consequences of it not working out. It's scary to think about the consequences of going back to places in your past that were extremely discomforting, mixed with heavy shoulders of shamelessness and embarrassment and just struggle. Like I don't want to go back to that place. And I also, beyond just like having my needs met, and beyond it just working, I fear the extreme productivity and work that I feel like comes with making more money. And I know that is not always a direct correlation, and that's something that I'm working on, that I don't have to expend so much labor in order to be able to make more money. But right now I feel like I have no other choice but to do that. And to me, like, I'm already exhausted just from the current job that I have, just from already doing photography, and the exhaustion of just like not having enough money, right? That already stresses me out. So the idea of making more money is like, whew, okay, I'll have more money, but it's like it comes at the cost of expending more labor. And I'm like, well, damn, I don't really know how I feel about that. I do know how I feel about that. I'm not enticed by it. And I definitely can make a balance, right? Because I always remind my friend, and I need to take my own advice in this moment, that the point of being an entrepreneur is that you get to really control your time. Granted, you do work more, and I think that's the piece too that has me a little anxious. Like, as an entrepreneur, you definitely work way more than somebody who has a regular job, or situational, right? Because some people have multiple jobs and they work more than entrepreneurs. But here nor there, you get the point I'm trying to make. As an entrepreneur, you work a lot more than people claim, but I do believe you get to control your time, right? Like, you get to say, hey, I don't have meetings on Wednesdays. I don't work on Thursdays and Fridays. Like, you get to have that autonomy because you have created and you control how the stream of money works for you. And I know I have that ability. I don't know if I trust myself, y'all. Like, do you trust yourself, Hassan, to become successful in these new endeavors? Do you trust yourself to be successful and sustainable as a photographer? Do you trust yourself to have the money you need to move out in a couple months? Do you trust yourself to move out and still be able to take care of yourself and to be able to stay out on your own and not have to come back again? And I don't trust myself, honestly. And so that's the point of contention I'm at now, of like, okay, well, you don't have confidence in you have swaying confidence. And a lot of that swayingness just comes from, I think, me knowing the direct consequences or the direct things that can go wrong. Like, I know what can go wrong because I've experienced what went wrong. And there's fear there. There's a lot of fear there. And I think there's also this sense of uncertain, not even uncertainty, but I think there's this aspect of not entirely feeling confident in self. That comes from, me comparing myself with other people's work, comparing myself with other people's journeys at times, and just fear. Like, I don't want to go broke again, and I don't want to be super stressed about money. And I know failure is a key ingredient to success, but like, I internalize an immense amount of pressure around failing. For example, right? I've been learning how to develop and process film, and no cap, I'm kind of really good at it for somebody who just started. However, I know that if I run into the difficulty of, or not even difficulty, if I just run into something not working out or the film being messed up, at this current stage, it's my film. I can only be upset with myself, and I can, take that L because I'm like, all right, like, I'm still learning. I get it. This is supposed to happen. But I have anxiousness and worry about the prospect of developing somebody else's film and messing up their film, because there's no way to like fix that, or giving somebody a bad product and bad quality. And I paused earlier when I was thinking about this, and I was like, okay, well, granted, right? Whenever anybody starts out with anything, mistakes are made. And even down the line, when something has, established a positive reputation, has a great rapport, great results, track record, and so forth, accidents and mistakes and things just go wrong. That's just a part of anything. There's room for that. And it's inevitable, most importantly. But I just have so much fear and worry of like, oh my God, like, I can't take that risk because of all these bad things I've created in my head, and all these bad things that I've given so much life to and importance and pressure to and weight to, that what could go right is not even really a thought. It was at the beginning and it went out the window. In and out. And I think that's maybe where I need to spend some time with myself, with the things that I think that I want to do, with the things that I'm interested in, and with the things that I'm afraid of doing because of them not working out, or me ending up in a bad place like I was before, is maybe just thinking about all these things through the lens of what could go right. What are all the things that could go right if I was to do this? And in doing such thing, coming up with like an endless amount of positive outcomes. It's not to say that I want to be oblivious of negative outcomes, but I think in a way, like, that might be necessary to just only really place yourself in a mindset of alignment and of energy and of focus that this is just going to work out, and it's going to work out because of all these reasons. In a way, it kind of makes yourself unwavering in your pursuit of what you are trying to achieve. And this is how I've heard a lot of people talk about manifestation. It's really like kind of being delusional, in the sense that like, what is not here, you are conjuring it up in a way that like it's just going to happen, or what is in motion is going to end up in this final phase the way that you have conjured it, because like there's no other way. Like, there's just no other way. Like, you're not going to accept anything else. And I think obviously, right, like, that's made possible through action, but that action is rooted in that internalized belief that's unquestionable to your own self. And naturally, people around you end up falling in line, or if they don't, you remove them from your view. And it just works out. And so, Hassan, I say to my own self, you gotta look at things differently. You have to think about what you can acknowledge initially what can go wrong. Yes, give space for that. But don't invest all your time there. Invest your time into all the things that can go right and how you can make sure these things happen. And move through that with this sense of uncertainty if it's there. Move through that with this sense of fearlessness. Move through that with trust and positive memories of when you wanted to do something you were uncertain and it worked out. Like, I know you can be, or you are going to be extremely successful, and I know there's going to be difficulties. There's no road to success without them. But are you willing to find out is the question. That is the $1 million question. Are you willing to find out what's on the other side of fear? Are you willing to find out what's on the other side of believing in yourself? You know? And I know I'm not the only 20-something having these conversations with themselves. Just around what they want to do, questioning whether they should be going this direction, questioning will it work out, questioning is it worth it, questioning are they going to be okay. And if you are in that same place, I just want to let you know I am scared as fuck too. I'm worried as fuck too. But I also know that if I stay in that worry, I'm only going to experience immense stress, unknowingness. I hope that's a word, but I made it up today, added to the dictionary. Unknowingness and no progress, realistically. Like, remaining in this place of questioning too long starts to become stagnancy. And I want to push you and myself to just take a step forward. Even if you are uncertain, just try it. Like, realistically, I have nothing to lose right now if I take a risk on myself and bet on myself. I don't. Maybe some sleep from staying up late. But I don't want to constantly be in this place of discomfort and uncertainty. So I think I'm going to take a risk and bet on myself. And I'm sorry, y'all. I'm just taking a moment to take all this in, to try to find my final thoughts. I mean, I know my final thoughts. And they're positive ones. They're ones that are nurturing to the steps I need to take. It's just sometimes we are afraid of our own success and our own ability to be great. And our own dreams can terrify us. Not because they are too big, because we know that they can be very real. So my final thought is I know I'm going to be great. I am. I'm going to be great. I'm going to be successful. I'm going to be okay. And I'm going to be a 20-something. Like, I'm going to be a 20-something figuring this shit out. And I have my friends to lean on. I have my partner to lean on. I have family to lean on as well. And sometimes when he is not grumpy, I have my dog to lean on, Bruno. So I'm going to lean on and into the love that surrounds me. I'm also going to really spend some time nurturing my sense of self and perspective and confidence, because I'm realizing that has not been too much of a place of nourishment lately. And I'm going to try to really have fun with it. You know, like, as serious as things can be, fun always needs to be present. I think that would relieve some of this unnecessary stress and worry and anxiousness when you just have fun and you play and you experiment. And so maybe that's what it needs to be. Just me approaching it as an experiment. I'm here to learn. I'm here to have some fun. I'm here to hopefully make a lot of fucking money. And, get to that life that I really desire. So, that's it. That is all that I have on this final episode of 20 Conversations, Season 2, Episode 10. Thank you all for listening. Thank you for tuning in. Please share this with a friend and another 20-something. And I'll catch you in 2 weeks for the first episode of Season 3. Take care. Ciao.